What's going on? NFL Daily coming at you, presented by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com/chat to save 20% off your balls. They're going to thank you. So on today's show, we are going to dive into the latest news and the rumors, and we're starting around Dak Prescott, because does paying a quarterback hurt your chances of winning, Tom?
We talked a lot about this on the Cowboys report yesterday, and there is some truth behind it. It's also kind of been a little bit blown out of proportion. I also quickly want to make an aside here. Part of this is coming up because Stephen A. Smith had a meltdown on ESPN today on something he literally talked about 2 months ago.
Yep.
He was like, what's the guaranteed money? Tell us the guaranteed money is blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, they offered him 105 like 2 months ago.
There you go.
Everyone knew this already. It's the fake outrage from Smith that just drives me insane. As for this part of it, we'll recap the reported offer. 5 years, $35 million per year, $106 million guaranteed, which is very fair. It's a fair offer from the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. I think we'll dive more into the why Dak has said no part. Stephen Jones also, and this is very clearly, negotiating through the media. Because, there's all sorts of analytics out there that show if your quarterback takes up too big a percentage of your salary cap, it decreases your chances to win, which is partially true. And I want to emphasize that if you pay anyone that amount of money, you have less money to pay other players. That's simple math there. Also, it's a little bit disingenuous from Steven to make that comment, having already offered Dak Prescott that amount of money. So you can kind of see the little awkwardness there, Mitch, in terms of how that works, how that doesn't work.
Well, how this show works is when y'all start arguing in the comments. So that's what I want. So please, go ahead. Can the Cowboys win a Super Bowl with Dak as the quarterback? Why for yes and for no? Because I watched your Cowboys report show yesterday, and your argument was simple. If you can win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott, you pay him. If you can't win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott, you don't. So give me a why for yes and for no, because Joe Theismann, I don't know if he thinks that they can win a Super Bowl, but he said this about Dak. You're not a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. You're a good football player. You have the potential to be better, but what have you done? And honestly, I hate the way that he finished it. What have you done? Because
he's done a lot of good things in the NFL.
Not many quarterbacks their first 4 years in the NFL, I think, actually have done as much as what Dak did. And now, I might make the argument that the 2016 Cowboys team, I would have loved what they would have been able to do with Tony Romo. But winning the NFC East in 2 out of 4 years, winning a playoff game in your first 4 years as a 4th-round pick, I mean, that's pretty good.
Look, I don't value wins very much. It's a team stat. But do you know the list of quarterbacks that have 40 wins and over 1,500 passing yards in their first 4 seasons?
I do not.
It's Dak and Dan Marino.
Decent.
That's the list. Now,
love
is Dak Dan Marino? No, of course not. Let me just make that super clear here. But Dak's done a lot of really good things in the NFL.
Yeah.
15,000. Sorry, I might have misspoke earlier. But he's done a lot of good things in the NFL. Maybe he's not, a true Russell Wilson yet, but also Russell Wilson wasn't what we now see of him in his first couple of years. So you're not banking on just taking a step forward in terms of what he's done so far. You're paying a guy for what he's going to do. That's why you do contracts. That's why you don't pay older players and you pay younger guys more.
So walk me through here this next graphic here, Tom, and basically tell me about quarterback cap hits and championship teams.
I'm sure many of you have seen the number of only Super Bowls winning quarterbacks have had this percentage of the cap, which is kind of accurate. It's also gets manipulated in terms of this was their cap hit that year, which is easily manageable. So what Bob Sturm did, and I used his data here, quarterback cap hits based on their average annual value, which is how much they make per year, relative to the cap hit that in that particular year. Here's how that was broken down for championship games, AFC, NFC. If you've made it to one of the final 4 teams, pretty good barometer, I think. Rookie contracts, 36% of those quarterbacks are on that. That's the best path out there. Now, for the Cowboys, you've crossed that path, of course. Cheaper veterans, 17%. Tom Brady by himself, 16%. Which kind of ruins the entire data set because Brady's just the exception for every rule out there.
Yep.
A top 10 highest paid quarterback consisted of 31% of those.
Yep.
And I think the argument, you can't build a contender around a top paid quarterback is ridiculous because the Niners literally just did it with Jimmy Garoppolo. And Jimmy Garoppolo got paid based on 8 games, and they made him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Now he's not because that's how contracts work. So if you only focus on the right here, right now, it's a really bad deal for the Cowboys. If you take a longer view, it looks better. Regardless, the Cowboys aren't going to win this deal because that window is long over.
So what I want you to do, I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. I want you to scroll on down and let me know. Can the Cowboys win a Super Bowl with Dak as the quarterback? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Let's keep the show rolling here, Tom. We do kind of have a little bit of an update around Jadeveon Clowney because, according to Dan Cilio, who you're not the biggest fan of, the Eagles
he and I have put a deal right now.
have put a deal in front of Clowney. He also said that the Seahawks, they want him back.
Which also flies in the face of some other recent reports coming out of Seattle, so someone's wrong here. The Eagles having interest does make some sense, although they are a little bit tight on money, but as you said before, you can make it work fairly easily.
And also, Howie Roseman's not afraid to roll the dice.
I still think Tennessee makes the most sense for Clowney in the end.
Yeah?
But he clearly hasn't gotten the offer that he wanted, because otherwise he would have signed.
No, I think that's what it ultimately comes down to. And I mean, if you're looking for a team that needs an edge rusher, Clowney's obviously going to help you with that need. And I love the fact that you mentioned Tennessee because I do think that he'd be a great fit. Plus, I think when you're looking at the Seahawks and you're looking at the Eagles, do they have money? Yes, but the Titans, they actually have the ability to actually give him a 2-year contract, which those other teams don't.
I think he might want a 1-year deal.
A 1-year prove it?
Mm-hmm. And get back in the market.
If somebody's willing to give him 2 years, though, maybe he'd be interested to do it. But either way, I do think that he does want he wants to be paid like the guys you see here on screen. Now, he's not going to get, in my opinion, the $20 million mark. And I don't even think he's going to get 19 or 18. But if you're Jadeveon Clowney, you are a former number 1 overall pick, you probably think that you're in this caliber. I just think he's not there.
He's probably trying to not dip below that $15, $16 million range because he made a big deal about not wanting to be tagged by the Seahawks, and it's part of the reason why he okayed a trade there.
Yep.
The franchise tag came in around $16 million. So he wants to get more, otherwise he's going to know that he cost himself some money on that front.
So Jadeveon Clowney, would you want your favorite team to go out and get him? So I'm going to put the mark there at, like 16, 17 mil. You're basically going to have to pay him that. For me, I'm going to say no, and I'm going to continue to say no unless he is willing to sign for a very, very reasonable contract. The other thing that's hurt Clowney, Robert Quinn's really the only other edge player, if you will, to get over, $14 million in free agency. So would you want your favorite team?
It was a very small market for free agency because guys like Yannick and Judon and Barrett all got tagged.
All got tagged. So would you want your team to go out and sign Jadeveon Clowney? So today's show is brought to you by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com and save 20% off. As you can see on screen, the Lawnmower 3.0. Guys, I'm telling you right now, you can clean up downstairs, and it's really, really easy with this bad boy right here. So it's rechargeable, it's waterproof, and in football, it is a game of inches. You're going to get that extra inch, which I'm telling you is really, really important. But also, there's no tugging. There's no scratching. You're not going to get that really.
There is tugging after you use it.
Yeah, maybe some back scratching as well. Bottom line, you're not going to find a better product to clean up your area. And JG, Alicia, she's a fan as well. Manscaped.com/chat, 20% off. It'll be in the comments. It'll be in the description below. Shout out to Manscaped.
My wife confirms it's great, too.
Yeah? 1-year anniversary.
Exactly.
Will she use it? We'll find out. Cam Newton to the Patriots. That's the next thing that we're talking about here. And I think it's funny because
take this one because this was funny, Mitch.
So Boston Sports Journal, Greg Bedard, he basically says, as for the Patriots' possible interest in Newton, it's unlikely due to the cap situation. So what does Nesson do? They go, Cam Newton's going to the Patriots. And I was like, wait a minute. Let's rewind a little bit. Let's take a little bit deeper dive in here. Then he goes on to say, well, if the Patriots, trade Downey, if they can create some cap space, then they could be interested because, let's face it, I don't really think the Patriots have the cap space right now to go out and get him. And the funny thing is he mentions 4 things. 4 things that Cam Newton or the Patriots would basically be interested in Newton if they have the cap space. Okay, makes sense. If they know that Newton is healthy. Okay, cool. If they think Cam fits their culture. Okay. And if salary realistic. So basically, if Cam's willing to make a realistic expectation.
So this is true for all the quarterbacks.
Every single team.
All the teams.
Every
single
that
quarterback.
Makes
sense. Yeah, got it.
Hey, I get it. We're kind of at a point right now where I think some people are hunting for a headline.
They're gonna roll with Stidham. We have to accept it now.
And I think that's the point. But I also don't like this. I don't like when somebody takes something the exact opposite and then they turn it into the exact opposite headline. It's kind of making me a little bit nuts. But if you guys want reliable news and rumors, you can come here to Chat Sports. We are 100% free for the next 365 days. But if that was a Nesson article, that'd probably be Chat Sports, $100 for the next 2 days. So Chat Sports, though, seriously, 100% free. We're a live and interactive YouTube channel where we drop daily videos every single day. Hit that sub button, and if you can't, we'll put it in the comments section below. Just click the link, subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's keep this show moving here. We got around Carlos Hyde. We talked about Cam Newton, maybe the top free agent quarterback. Talked about Jadeveon Clowney, maybe the top free agent in general. Carlos Hyde now potentially going to the Eagles because they're interested in signing him, which I think makes some sense.
I agree. I think you have Miles Sanders. Clearly, he's going to be your lead back, but you do want a better number 2 than Boston Scott.
Yep.
Corey Clement.
Yeah.
Michael Warren.
I think it's funny, though, because, according to Kaplan, he basically goes on to say that the Eagles are looking for a running back who they can, maybe give 12, maybe 15 carries to a game, somebody that's reliable and that can also catch the football.
Hyde.
Yeah, which I think is Hyde. And I don't want people to think that you're going to get over 1,000 yards again. I think that was a little bit more of a product of the Houston Texans offense. But if you're looking for an upgrade over a Jordan Howard, I don't know if I'm there, but Hyde can catch the football much better than Jordan Howard, who is now with the Miami Dolphins.
I think you can expect a little over 4 yards per carry, somewhere in that 4.2 to 4.4 yards per carry. It's kind of what he's been for most of his NFL career, back when he wasn't running behind the Jags' awful offensive line. I think he instantly slots in as your number 2 back. You can leave Boston Scott as your 3rd. Keep Clement if you want, but who cares about Clement if we're being honest here? I think it makes a lot of sense for Philadelphia as a cheap depth signing at the back.
You're looking at an organization that historically actually has tried to find that bruising running back, right? They first tried to do it, I think, with J.J. He kind of got banged up. They also did it with LeGarrette Blount, but he can't catch the football. Jordan Howard they brought in, who I think ran pretty well between the tackles, but again, couldn't catch the football. I think in that offense, yes, you need to be able to catch the football. So Carlos Hyde to the Eagles. Make sure you guys are subscribed because if it happens, we'll let you know. So I want you to predict this, okay? Will all 256 games be played this year? If you think it's a yes, I want you to type 256. If you think it's no, I want you to type 0. Tom and I, we're going to let you know right after this YouTube ad break. So are we going to have football this year, Tom? Peter King interviewed Big C expert Dr. Anthony Fauci. No. Fauci. I got it wrong, and I even had it in my notes.
You have the
pronunciation
pronunciation
how the
right
Big C could impact the NFL season. Fauci was basically breaking down whether or not football is going to be happening. It's obviously a very tough question, and no one really can answer it. He basically goes on to say only the virus is going to be able to make the decision for us. But he does break down some interesting ideas, and the ideas were, let's just say you're a football team. 4 players get the Big C. What happens then? He's basically saying that team needs to be put into quarantine for 2 weeks. And you might have to postpone. You might have to cancel the football games.
The billion-dollar question here is what happens if a player tests positive in the middle of the season, and that's the issue because there isn't an ideal answer there.
No, there isn't. I mean, imagine. So the other example he gave was Patrick Mahomes. Imagine if Patrick Mahomes gets it. What do the Chiefs do?
But also, the entire team, not even just from you one player got it. You're probably going to bet multiple players have it.
And you can't put them out on the football field because then that could create a worse issue. And it's not like normal injuries where it will play the whole rub some dirt on it.
It's a very complicated problem there, and that's what all these sports leagues, the NFL, and MLB, NBA, are all trying to figure out right now. There isn't a great answer at the moment, which is what sucks about it.
Bottom line, fingers crossed that we have football this year.